have monetary policy too, increasing interest rates. But whatever we have to do, whatever government has to do to reduce spending would bring about reducing inflation. Because inflation is as a result of increasing spending. So if government has to solve that problem, it has to find a way to reduce spending. Higher prices will reduce, but prices are high already. So government wants to reduce that. To do that, government has to cut taxes, has to increase taxes. So if government increases taxes, disposable income would fall. We will stop buying as we used to buy. So firms will not have any other choice than to respond by reducing their prices. Do we understand this?
Yes.
Okay. So that's for inflation. Then we have economic growth. For economic growth, we talked about increasing the output within the economy. So if government wants to increase the output within the economy, aggregate demand has to increase. So government would increase its spending, government would reduce taxes. If government increases its spending, it means government is subsidizing. If government subsidizes for firms, the cost of production for firms would what? Would reduce. That would give them the incentive to produce more. Producing more means economic growth, yes or no? That's on the one side. Another point is, if government is cutting taxes on income, if government cuts income taxes, it means disposable income would increase within the economy. Households will have more money to spend, yes or no? That would increase the demand for goods and services. Increasing demand for goods and services means firms will have to meet up with this demand by increasing their output. That is economic growth. So for economic growth to occur, expansionary policy has to be used. For inflation to be reduced, contractionary fiscal policy has to be used. Do we get it, please? The third one, unemployment. We know what unemployment is. A situation whereby people seek for employment, but they are unable to get one. So if unemployment has to be reduced within the economy, government has to use what? Expansionary fiscal policy. Are you with me, please? So if government has to use the expansionary fiscal policy, government can increase subsidies for firms. If subsidies for firms increases, it means firms will have a reduced cost of production. That might give them an incentive to expand their operation. Expanding their operation means they have to employ more workers. Unemployment will what? Reduce. That's on the one side. If government is increasing its spending, it means demand for goods and services will increase because prices level would fall. Individuals will be able to spend more than what they used to spend. Firms will have to meet up with this demand, and to meet up with this demand, they have to increase their output. Maybe they have to increase their premises. Maybe they have to buy more equipment. They might have to employ more workers. Unemployment would also what? Reduce. So for unemployment to be solved or to be reduced, government has to use what? Expansionary fiscal policy. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Then we have current account deficit. Why do we have current account deficit? We have current account deficit if the debit side of our current account balance of payment is higher than the debit side or the credit side of our current account. So that means we spend more than what we have. That means the country is doing more of imports than exports. So if the country is doing more of import than export, government has to reduce it because it's a balance of payment deficit. For government to reduce it, government has to use what? Contractionary fiscal policy. So government can increase taxes on importation. Because we do more of imports, right? We do more of imports because the prices of imports are cheaper. Now government would increase prices of imports, taxes on imports. So tariffs increases. And as soon as tariffs increases, it means we won't be able to spend the same amount of money to buy the same quantity anymore. So the quantity we buy would reduce or we stop buying. Do you get the point or not, please? A current account deficit is because we have more of imports than exports. For government to solve that, government has to use what? Contractionary fiscal policy. Which means government has to cut its spending or increase taxes on importation. And when we talk about taxes on importation, we're talking about tariffs. So government has to increase tariffs. And as soon as tariffs are increased, it means we don't have the incentive to buy from abroad anymore. So importation would what? Would fall. The balance of payment deficit would reduce or it improves. Do you understand current account deficit here?
Yes.
And the last one, fiscal policy and the environment. Government can also solve the environmental damage caused by businesses through taxes. Government would increase taxes on firms that damage the environment. on different activities they do. So as soon as government increases tax on them or impose more tax on them, they will reduce their activity. Then that will reduce damage caused by businesses in the environment. So these are the impacts of fiscal policy on macroeconomic objectives. Any question about it? Are we sure? Thank you.